A new captain, a recalibrated altitude. 3 months into his tenure, Antonin Tron stepped onto the runway at Balmain with a proposition: precision over spectacle, control over crescendo. The metaphor of flight was not decorative. It structured the collection from its first passage. The opening look, a flight jacket rendered in matte lambskin of almost liquid density, nodded to Danielle Décuré, Air France's first female pilot, who in 1975 wore a uniform designed by Pierre Balmain himself. The reference anchored Tron's debut in lived history rather than abstraction. It also reasserted a foundational idea: the Balmain woman as unapologetic, assured, and visibly composed. If Décuré pointed to the house's later chapter, the collection's structural language reached further back, to the 1940s emergence of Pierre Balmain as couturier. Tron traced a line from that post-war elegance to what he described backstage as minimal opulence: rounded, structured shoulders curved outward with disciplined softness. Waistlines gathered and narrowed the torso without constriction. Pencil skirts and fitted sleeves sculpted the silhouette into something at once restrained and charged, the cool sensuality of film noir distilled into tailoring. Think Lauren Bacall's reserve, Rita Hayworth's tension, controlled, deliberate, and sentimental. The trench coat cut with a Bogart-like severity underscored this mood. Elsewhere, evening dresses absorbed the siren archetype through elongated lines and calibrated drape. The sensuality was never loud. It simmered. Animalier surfaces, an original Balmain signature, returned in caviar-beaded interpretations that caught light in restrained flickers. A black coat, entirely veiled in hand-cut leather feathers, shifted with a hush rather than a flutter. Croc effect ensembles: coat, skirt, shirt, boots were constructed from mosaiced leather panels, each edged with additional beading. Cloak and silk jacquards, patterned in twists of smoke, were developed from the archives and carried a nocturnal depth that rewarded proximity. And yet proximity was required. Staged in near noir darkness, the runway's shadowed atmosphere sometimes obscured the craft it sought to dramatize. Suedes and velvets that read as black from a distance revealed themselves up close as oxblood, deep green, midnight blue. Tortoiseshell resin quarters on shoes, elegant, deliberate, were easily lost in the gloom. The refinement was real, its communication, at moments, to discreet. This was a collection that demanded illumination, literal and conceptual. The audience many long-standing clients cultivated during Olivier Rousteing's decade of exuberance watched attentively, dressed in the high gloss codes of that era. Tron's proposition is quieter, more interior. He understands, and stated clearly, that Balmain is a rare house whose ready-to-wear genuinely sells. Respecting that commercial backbone while adjusting its aesthetic trajectory is no minor task. His silhouettes, wearable yet rigorous, suggest he is thinking not only of image but of wardrobe longevity. There is conservatism in this recalibration, appropriate, perhaps, given Pierre Balmain's own measured temperament. Tron's fall-winter 2026 to 2027 does not explode with novelty. It refines, edits, and rebalances. At times, one wishes for a sharper rupture, a more pronounced declaration of authorship. But the control is convincing. The throttle is steady, the instruments calibrated. Now airborne, Balmain's new pilot appears intent on navigating by house codes rather than turbulence. The direction is clear. The question is not whether he can fly. This debut suggests he can, but how boldly he will choose to steer once the runway lights grow brighter.